A contact patch per tyre no larger than a laptop screen carries, steers and brakes 40 tonnes. This interface between the vehicle and the road is a crucial cost factor in a tightly synchronised transport world. For us, it all comes down to helping the customer put a competitive fleet on the road. Customers are keen on having more frequent FleetCheck reports, even as the volume of data to be dealt with grows continually. This all makes for an increasingly complex work environment for those in sales and for those in customer service. Now, Continental has developed a new tool that makes it a lot easier to gather the data and draw up the reports needed for fleet checks and vehicle monitoring. What's in it for the customer? We reduce tyre wear at the customer end. That cuts costs. We ensure safety by preventing breakdowns, and we see a drop in the customer's fuel costs. This is possible due to reduced rolling resistance and, of course, by getting the most out of the rubber capital. In other words, by making sure the tyres have a correct wear pattern. Is the FleetCheck tool used only in sales? No, it is also designed with customer service technicians in mind. They can use it for the so-called PPM or product performance monitoring. Okay, FleetCheck from A to Z. Where do we start? Here we have, first of all, the PDA box. It protects the PDA from rain. The key item, the PDA itself. And the air pressure gauge, which we attach to the instrument used to measure tread depth. The data is then sent via Bluetooth to the PDA.
Und via Bluetooth werden die Daten auf den PDA übertragen.
What preparatory work is required in the back office? Here, I enter a customer's new vehicle into the system. In the case of Peter Eggers, he provided me with his vehicle papers. I transfer the data on the papers to the back office, and then I enter the appropriate code for the vehicle type, what kind of vehicle that is, in other words, the axle configuration, the manufacturer, and of course the tyres originally mounted on the vehicle. The vehicle data is then saved and synchronised on the PDA so that I have the data at my fingertips when I'm in the fleet. Handling advantages. The software is intuitive and easy to use, and as always, practice makes perfect. Each minute of preparation on the laptop saves 3 minutes when checking the fleet. Complete fleet data is a good chunk of the work. New fleet data, such as new vehicles or additional tyre types, can also be entered via the PDA. I now understand the principle of how it works. How do things look out in the field, though, at truckside, so to speak? OK, as makes sense, we're going out to check the fleets at the weekend, when most vehicles are in the depot. I locate the vehicle on the PDA, take a mileage reading, and then check the tyre. Just what do you check on the tyre? Tread depth and inflation pressure. Is there any danger of data getting lost? No. The data is all stored on an SD card. Even if the battery dies at any time, the data is still on the SD card. How long are the batteries good for? The PDA batteries last for about 8 to 9 hours. The air pressure gauge can go for 48 hours without having to be recharged. Is the data of the vehicle type stored on the PDA so that I would be able to immediately add a new vehicle right in the fleet? Yes, we went to great lengths to pre-install all the data beforehand so that our colleagues working directly in the fleet can add and inspect the tyres quickly and easily. The data available includes axle configurations, vehicle makes and models, and the tyre makes and sizes, as well as tread patterns. All right, we're finished. All the vehicles have been checked. We found 2 punctures and have already taken care of the matter. The tyres have been changed. This tyre is completely worn. We'll change it straight away, and then 1 drive axle still has to be dealt with so that all the vehicles are set to go on Monday. Now we draw up the report. I connect the PDA to the back office. Via synchronization, I transfer the data readings to the back office, and then I draw up the report by looking up the customer, the location, and the desired time span for the report. We found that with the PDA, everything takes just half the time it would with pen and paper, and there's practically no risk of errors when entering the data, and obviously no errors occur when transferring the data. Is that the same report as for vehicle monitoring? No, for vehicle monitoring much more data is gathered. In other words, this report goes into much more detail and shows the life of the tyre. So, Mr. Falk, here is the detailed report as promised. Well now, from the sheets we can see how much you tested. Right. We took readings on 46 vehicles. That's 276 tyres. Considering the short time we were there, we can see for ourselves that our measuring instruments speed up the work considerably. However, you still have quite a lot of different tyre sizes, but we're working on establishing a standard size. We want to introduce a standard to have interchangeable tyres so that we don't have to stock so many individual tyres. By carrying out these checks on a regular basis, I think we're on the right track. Yes, compared to the last fleet check, we're making quite a bit of progress, but especially regarding low-profile tyres, we still have some work to do. With the 60 and 70 series tyres, we have a few dips in terms of inflation pressure, but we'll deal with that. Then we here at the company will have to come up with something. In the report, you'll notice which tyre sizes and which tread patterns you need, and then we'll have to work out next week how we want to organise stocks. Exactly. It's important to us, especially regarding repairs and scheduling, that we then have the vehicle on site and minimise downtime. Advantages for the fleet manager. Optimum use of tyre material. Optimum safety regarding tread depths. Cost planning is made possible through clear needs analysis. The report is available promptly. Major reduction in breakdowns thanks to timely diagnosis. Reports can be used for certification. And the staff is left with more time for other tasks. The checks would normally be conducted by the fleet managers or their staff. The fleet check tool is for Eggers a key component in optimising and controlling tyre management. For us, it's very important that we obtain the reports promptly so that we can talk to our drivers and clarify the source of the problem. We can then plan what action we have to take. If the reports we're working with are too old, the drivers won't accept them or take the necessary actions. We were able to reduce breakdowns on the road by almost 90%. That was very important for us and yielded enormous savings, of course. As can be seen, customer acceptance is high. I can supply the customer with excellent data that can be used to optimize the fleet so as to cut costs, and this means the customer will also be buying more tyres from us. In view of all this, I think my colleagues too are going to enjoy using the device. Advantages for the sales representative. Fast data collection and no recording errors or typos during data collection. The fleet check report can be drawn up at the click of a button. Comprehensive reporting functions such as overviews and statistics. Reliable fault diagnosis because the device automatically detects deviations from the target values such as recommended inflation or initial tread depth. We gain more knowledge about the customer's fleet. Direct sales where defects show up. Service creates trust among customers. And the professional approach underscores our value as a competent partner.